You're watching NBC San Diego News.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Monica Dean. Every day across San Diego, we meet people who are making a difference, overcoming challenges, and finding ways to lift up others. These are the stories inspiring San Diego. We begin with a local emergency room nurse who is recovering after what she thought would be a routine day on the job. It turned into a disaster. Lowe survived a helicopter crash during the popular off-roading race in Mexico called the Baja 500. Lowe was flying in the chase helicopter when it crashed during a refueling incident. NBC7's Jeanette Quesada has her inspiring story of survival and the Good Samaritan who stepped in to help.
Katie says she's grateful for everyone who survived and everyone who helped them along the way.
As a team air medic for the Baja 500 race, Katie Lowe never thought her crew would be in need of medical care.
Unfortunately, we were the ones that got injured.
There was strong winds, and I believe that played a huge factor in them spinning.
Edward Lopez runs the helicopter fueling base. He watched from the ground as the disaster unfolded. Katie says as the helicopter was swept up, she looked to brace herself.
I've just never felt that before, not knowing whether or not I was gonna live or die. So it was pretty scary, and I'm just grateful to be alive. I felt like I couldn't take a deep breath or catch my breath.
Lopez remembers the helicopter crashing to the ground and rolling over. Upon seeing the pilot bleeding from his head, she says her medical instincts kicked in.
Once I clicked out, I landed on my hands and knees, and I went to try to go over towards him, and the pain in my back was just so severe.
As that's happening, we're already running towards them.
Lopez was among the rescue team that pulled them to safety. Once they turned off the engine, they pulled both of them out of the helicopter. Pilot were both flown back to Brownfield Airport, where her husband Mike was waiting for her.
We're incredibly grateful for everything that everybody did to take care of her and get her home.
Katie sustained compression fractures to her T7 and T8 vertebrae, along with a rotator cuff tear and a labrum tear. The pilot also sustained a laceration in his forehead and a broken nose. Katie says they've been checking in on each other every day.
I just feel lucky to be alive.
I'm not a big person of faith, but after this accident, I believe that has changed. And I know they were protected by the grace of God.
Katie says she's overwhelmed with the love and support she's received from friends and the community. Now she's focused on beginning her long road to recovery, and for that, she will need an adjustable bed and says that any help from the community is much appreciated. Jeanette Quesada, NBC7.
Another miraculous story of survival. A San Diego man survived a grizzly bear attack. San Carlos resident Daniel Crago was on a hike at Glacier National Park in Montana when he ran into a grizzly and its cub. Crago says he made eye contact with the bears and tried to communicate that he was not a threat. But the adult bear charged at him, forcing Crago to try and shield himself from the oncoming attack.
As soon as we made eye contact, it charged at me. Took kind of 2 steps and then leaped at me, open arms and a roar. And I was kind of like this and leaned threw my arm up in self-defense, protect my face. And thankfully that's what it bit. As soon as it started running at me, kind of the thought of this is it went through my mind.
The bear dragged him roughly 20 feet before leaving him in the snow. Thankfully, a nearby hiker happened to be a doctor and jumped in to help. Crago was airlifted to the hospital where he had several surgeries and has at least one more to go. In the U.S., every 40 seconds, someone suffers a cardiac arrest or a heart attack, but knowing the symptoms can help save a life. This month highlights National CPR and AED awareness, a reminder to brush up on the skills that can save a life. NBC7's Allison Ash visited City Hall recently, where people from all walks of life got some hands-on training.
Most heart attacks and cardiac arrests happen at home, so it's critical that loved ones know first to call 911 and then to start CPR.
All you need is 2 hands and the will to do it. I'm only alive because my husband started CPR immediately.
Summer Haskins was only 38 years old.
My heart just stopped beating, and then I was essentially dead.
The mother of two fell to the floor as her husband walked through the front door. He didn't know what was wrong with her, but he knew what to do.
My husband started CPR immediately. He called 911.
He kept her alive until paramedics arrived and restarted her heart with an AED.
Shock delivered.
Now, Haskins, who works in the city's public utilities department, calls herself a poster child for the importance of CPR and AEDs. She's working with the San Diego Fire Department's Project Heartbeat to spread the word and teach it.
Keep pressing.
You don't need certification. You just need to be willing to help save a life. At today's training session, human and infant-sized dummies for practice, as well as information about the difference between a heart attack and cardiac arrest. With a heart attack, you're still alive. Not so much with cardiac arrest.
No response, no breathing, go. Call 911 first, get us rolling. Bare the chest of the person and start hands-only CPR.
Project Heartbeat has placed 12,000 AEDs around the county. Anybody can use them. Summer Haskins says you don't need training, you just need to have the will to give someone a second chance at life.
Don't be afraid, just step in and help.
In the 25 years since Project Heartbeat started here in San Diego, 223 lives have been saved by the AEDs that they've placed all around the county. 5 of those were children. Reporting from City Hall downtown, Allison Ash, NBC 7.
A downtown women's center is getting a major facelift to help it better serve those in need, women struggling with homelessness or addiction. In this inspiring San Diego report, NBC 7's Daniel Crago got to see some of the work at a Catholic Charities women's center downtown.
For the first time in more than 40 years, Rachel's Women's Center is getting some upgrades. It's a drop-in place for someone who can come for a hot meal, a shower, or even some help to get back on their feet.
I'm sure I'd be dead or out there on the streets, drugs, most likely dead.
That's how Angelica Preciado says she would have ended up had it not been for Rachel's Women's Center in downtown.
I was homeless on the streets, an addiction, and I had nowhere to go, so I came here and they helped me and I got into the night shelter.
She has been clean for 3 years, has housing, and now volunteers at the Day Drop-In Center.
I was on meth, an alcoholic, and prostitution. Yeah, so this is God's work. I wish that more women would come and get the help and get off the streets and get the resources. There's a lot of resources here.
Rachel's Women's Center is a safe space for women to come and get wraparound services, but it started to show the wear and tear serving between 80 and 120 women a day.
And this building is 100 years old. We have been here for 42 years, and it needed a lot of love to make it better, to make it more welcoming for those women to call this as a home.
Nonprofit AEC Cares, made up of volunteer architects, builders, and engineers, selected the Catholic Charities owned space for a one-day renovation project called their Blitz Build.
We spend most of our time behind the computer, sometimes out in the field, but not a lot of time getting your hands dirty.
Hands dirty to hopefully get more people clean and off the streets.
When they come back tomorrow, they're going to be excited to see this, and they're going to say, my home has become better for me.
In downtown, Daniel Crago, NBC 7.
Right next door to Rachel's Women's Center, a shelter called Rachel's Promise is set to open for more than 200 beds for women and children. That's in late July. The decades-long wait is over as a special statue has returned to a San Diego community. The Black Family statue was an artistic centerpiece for years, recognizing families of color. NBC 7's Cecilia Trevino shows us the celebrations in Mountain View and spoke with the man who has advocated for the restoration of this statue for years. It's a story inspiring San Diego.
This unveiling behind me shows the power of coming together to advocate not only to preserve the past, but to set a precedent for future generations.
Oh man, this is, I can't even explain what it means, you know what I'm saying, to me. It means it's so much joy, happiness.
After a roughly 40-year absence, the Black family statue is back and stronger than ever.
Now my grandkids get to see something, you know what I'm saying? We get to tell the history of where we came from because it was gone.
Through the years, Jeffrey Hayes has taken care of the statue's space and has stayed at the forefront of advocating for this restoration. Rosie Wade designed the wooden statue in 1974 as a tribute to Black values and community pride. It was taken down due to vandalism and decay.
That's my wife, Keisha Hayes, when she was 2, in front of the statue site. This was the only place where blacks was able to come and be together as a whole and be a family.
They burned sage, which is a spiritual practice to protect the statue. And music helped set the mood for this unveiling that kicked off Juneteenth celebrations in San Diego. At a time when Hayes thinks this representation of the Black family transmits much needed unity.
Because that's what we need instead of all the shooting and the killing. You know, so this is what we need to bring some life back to us, to make something else happen, for a different spirit to pop out.
Hayes says the statue is everything he wished for.
Yes, it is. It's even better. It's even better. Thanks to Mike. It's even better than before to me.
In Mountain View.
Before it was made out of wood. Now it's made out of metal and it's not going nowhere.
Cecilia Treviño, NBC7.
Now to a birthday celebration that is inspiring San Diego. Jackson Bush organized a lemonade stand fundraiser for his younger sister Emmy's 7th birthday. It's part of the family's effort to raise funds for Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, considered the largest independent childhood cancer charity in the country. Emmy was diagnosed with leukemia last December, and with her birthday falling during one of the most difficult phases of her treatment, her brother says he wanted to celebrate it rather than postponing it.
It is hard to see her go through this, as she has to go to the hospital, I think, multiple times a week or a couple times a week, and that's very hard to do. And her getting through this, it's like gives me confidence in her. She's very independent. She's able to go through this very strong, and it just makes me happy.
Does having Jackson do things like this with you and for you, does that make it a little bit easier?
Yes.
Why?
Because he supports me like my friend.
Such a sweet family. Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation has raised more than $300 million and funded over 1,500 pediatric cancer research projects. That's going to do it for us. We hope these stories have touched your heart and reminded you that good news is alive and well. I'm Monica Dean. Thanks for watching. Keep inspiring San Diego.